What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I am your host, Eric, and today we are going to talk about the UAW and their negotiations, which are ongoing right now. And we're going to talk about transparency during negotiations because the UAW and their president are doing something that's relatively new as far as contract negotiations go. When I say it's relatively new, I'm going to say because the UAW, the Teamsters, and several other notable unions have kind of gone in the vein of the old school, where they involve the membership, where they fight for the membership unapologetically. And so, what I want to do is bring you some of the updates on the UAW and what they're doing, and kind of discuss the NLRB and two things: mandatory subjects of negotiation and permissive subjects of negotiations and their differences. So we're going to wrap all of those things in tonight on this Sunday night edition of Union Minded. So let's dive right on into the UAW. Now, there was a post on September 7th on the UAW's Twitter page, and it read like this. In response to GM's proposal submitted on September 7th, UAW President Shawn Fain released the following statement. After refusing to bargain in good faith for the past 6 weeks, only after having Federal Labor Board charges filed against them, GM has come to the table with an insulting proposal that doesn't come close to an equitable agreement for America's auto workers. GM either doesn't care or isn't listening when we say we need economic justice at GM by 11:59 p.m. on September the 14th. The clock is ticking. Stop wasting our members' time. Tick tock. Now that's a strong statement by their president, and they stated that publicly. Not flinching, not backing down an inch, and making sure to put forth the members' well-being as the main thrust of their argument as to why they need more. And then they took it a step further and they actually posted what the UAW is demanding, and they contrasted that with what GM proposed. And I want to show you that too, or actually read it to you. I'll put these links in the description box for you guys so you can check them out yourself. I'll also put links to the NLRB and to the subjects of bargaining that are permissive and mandatory, so you can browse that for yourself as well, so you can take this information back to your unions and to your locals and try to enact some reformer attitudes. It's what I'm trying to do, and it's what I encourage every labor activist to do. So here we go. GM's insulting offer. GM's earnings are soaring. The company earned more than $7 billion in profits in the first half of this year. GM CEO Mary Barra is the highest paid Big Three CEO, raking in $29 million last year. Altogether, the Big Three made $21 billion in profits in just the first 6 months of this year. And while the Big Three executives and shareholders have gotten rich off of our labor, UAW members have been left behind. It's time for our fair share. So this is our demands versus their proposal, okay? Ending tiers. Now this is similar to, in my local, we have our workers and journeymen and apprentices. That our worker label, that's like a second tier because they're doing the same electrical work that the AJs are doing, but they're getting paid much less. We really got to do away with the R program altogether. That's my opinion. Will it ever happen? I don't know if the membership will ever finally get to that point, but we really do need to take care of our workers because they are treated as second class. And that's what they're trying to end here at UAW. So they want to end tiers. 90-day progression to top rate, restoring pensions and retiree health care, folding CCA and GMCH into traditional wage rates. What did GM offer? to keep the tiers and do a 6-year progression, rejected all pension and retiree healthcare proposals, and continued substandard pay. On wages, the UAW wants double-digit pay raises to match salary increases of the big three CEOs and to catch up with inflation and to make up for decades of falling wages. I can relate. Here's what GM offered. Unacceptable pay offer with a 10% increase over 4 years that doesn't even make up for the past raises wiped out by inflation. Lump sum bonuses that many employees won't receive. Next, UAW is asking for COLA, so wages keep up with inflation and our quality of life improves, but GM offered no COLA, just lump sums that many employees won't receive. And we go to profit sharing. Enhanced profit sharing is what they're asking for by providing workers $2 for every $1 million spent by GM on share buybacks, special dividends, and increases to normal dividends. What did GM offer? Concessionary profit sharing. Formula that leaves more for the company executives and rich shareholders and less for us. Would have resulted in a 29% smaller check last year. They want job security. UAW is asking for job security with working family protection program and a right to strike over plant closures. GM refused all of that. Work-life balance. They want increased work-life and family balance with more paid time off and holidays. Amen to that. GM rejected all of that, except they offered up Juneteenth as an extra holiday. On retirement, the UAW is looking for significant increases to retiree pay. GM rejected all of that. And that's what they're doing in the public. The UAW is posting the fight as it's going. They're keeping their members involved. It's imperative to keep the members involved. They are part of your negotiating power. You have to use them. So if the UAW is engaging in open, transparent negotiations with the big three and they're keeping their members in the loop by announcing what they are fighting for and what the big three are offering, then there is no reason for any local union to agree to ground rules which will keep its members uninformed up until the 11th hour. According to the NLRB, employers have a legal duty to bargain in good faith. An employer may not fail to bargain in good faith concerning mandatory subjects of negotiation. And what are those? Those are things that affect your wages, your compensation, your shift differential, your incentives, your PTOs, your overtime, your holidays, vacations, insurance, pension, job conditions. These types of things are mandatory bargaining subjects, and they have to participate in those in good faith. They cannot not do it. And they also may not insist to impasse on a proposal concerning a permissive subject of bargaining or require an agreement on a permissive subject of bargaining as a precondition to further bargaining. What does that mean? They can't hold up negotiations if your union decides they don't want to sign ground rules. They cannot by law hold up negotiations because you will not sign a gag order. So if your union tells you that they have to sign a gag order or negotiations will stall, they're lying to you. You can always file charges with the NLRB for an unfair labor practice if the contractor side does not want to negotiate with the union side over permissive subjects. What are permissive subjects? Ground rules are an example of a permissive bargaining subject. Ground rules are a part of permissive subjects and therefore they are not mandatory. It makes no sense for a union to exclude their members from knowing what is being negotiated on their behalf. If you think about it, what good reason is there to keep the membership in the dark? You think long and hard enough, you'll find there is no good reason. Anyway, I am excited to see the UAW doing this. I was excited to see the Teamsters and the UPS negotiation. I'm excited to see this labor wave and what it's going to cause for all labor unions, including the legacy labor unions, which are so slow to adapt to changing times. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded on Sunday night. And remember, the fight's not left and right. It's up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one, teach one, get out there and reach one. And remember, there could be no union without you and I, front and center. Peace.